Hi, I'm Lori, and welcome back to the Way of Positive Change YouTube channel. So today is the day after Christmas, and I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. I just did my last video on Trump and Pelosi and their January. I said I'd come back on Saturday, but I just booked a few more people for Saturday. So Friday and Saturday are a little bit on the cray-cray side as far as readings go. So I decided, you know what, I'll just come back on and tell you about this today. Now, a lot of people asked me about this list of paper up here that you can see something, very clearly something's written on it. So that is my gratitude list. We're coming to the end of a decade, you guys. And so about four of us here in the office building sat down together and did a 20 things, a list of, since we're going to 2020, we did 20 lines, 20 sentences on what we were grateful for in the last decade. So, you know, that would be, even though I went through a divorce, I got a new home, and, you know, everything that you thought was helpful, new friends, people that helped you out, anything that you could be grateful for. So I think that's very important as we usher out the old. If you want the thing about gratitude and to get it to work like magic, because the universe loves gratitude, God loves gratitude. If you are grateful, you will send out gratitude prayers by writing them down, and then those prayers are a very high form of prayer, and it comes back to you, and you get more things, in the words of Louise Hay, then you get more goodies to be grateful for, because that's just how it works. And it seems very simple. That's because it is. People try to make it very difficult. It's like a prayer does not need to be difficult. Keep it simple. Simple works, right? So anyway, of course, I've always tried to be a grateful human being. But I really got into gratitude and the Divine Matrix when I read, the Divine Matrix by Greg Braden, and several other books. But when I got to the magic, now many of you are going to be familiar with Rhonda Byrne. She wrote The Secret, right? Rhonda Byrne, right down here. And that was good. And then her second book, I think, was The Power. And this is the third book. It's called The Magic. And in here, we did this when I had the store. We did several classes on the gratitude, the power of gratitude, the power of prayer, positive prayer of gratitude. And we did several exercises out of here. So you may want to try to get this book if you're into changing your life through the power and prayer of gratitude and the Divine Matrix. You may want to get this book. It's not very expensive. I think it is, well, my book is very old. It was only $13.99. Anyway, it's paperback. And you'll need one rock for your gratitude rock, to say the things that you're most grateful for each day at the end of the day. It's very short lessons for 30-day change your life. Listen, if you even got through, I really hope you get through the entire book. It's a very simple 1 page a day exercise. It's so cool. I think you'll really love it, and I think you'll witness miracles in your life if you really get into it. And it brings people back together. Through the power of gratitude, I've been able to change my life, and it brings you into the art of manifesting through miracles, through the art of gratitude, and being specific about what you're grateful for. So if you, for instance, so I'm just going to put this down. So if you want to bring in more prosperity in your life in 2020, or whatever you're watching this, you're going to want to be grateful for every paycheck that you've ever received, and be grateful for every time that you've been able to go into the grocery store and bought whatever you needed, and for every time that someone helped you with something financially, every gift you've ever been given financially. So if you want more of something, you need to go back and think of what you're grateful for. And it needs to be written out, and that's what this book is good. It's helpful to say, I am so very grateful. So let's say, for prosperity. So I am so very grateful for every time the emergency room wrote me a check for my employment that allowed me to pay my expenses. I am so very grateful for every time my parents gave me lunch money to pay for my lunch at school. I'm so very grateful for the gifts I was given even just a day ago from someone I read for, and thank you, Margaret, for your donation, and Alma. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful. Those are the first two that I've ever received. Thank you. Okay, so you're going to write those out. So if you want a new home, then you're going to give thanks, go through and give thanks. This is an act of cleansing, too. You know, it's even better than burning sage. If you want a new home, so you pick up the pen, you sit down. And the hardest part about doing a gratitude list, you guys, is putting your butt in the chair and getting the paper and starting the first sentence. Hardest part, because the dark side, the lazy side, is going to want you to go do your laundry. 12 loads, just so you don't have to do your enlightenment exercise. All right, so if you want a new home, then you would say, I am so very grateful for the home that I am living in, as it has provided safety and comfort for me, especially during hurricanes, right? I am so very grateful for the home that I lived in Illinois, as it was the perfect place for my parents to raise their family. So what you're doing is, I'm so very grateful for, and then why. So if you're doing it for a mate, you're going to say, I'm so very grateful. Say you're having troubles with your mate or your relationship, then you say, I am so very grateful for my mate, whatever that person's name is, because one day I didn't feel good and they made me a sandwich. I'm so very grateful for my mate because one day I didn't feel good and they took me to the doctor. I'm so very grateful for my mate because one day one day they thought I was beautiful and they kissed me and it changed my life. I'm so very grateful for my mate because during the dating time and for many years later, they brought me many things to laugh at, or great laughter into my life. However you want to think of the magic, think of all the wonderful things that person has done for you. Even if you're angry at that person, there's going to be a time where they did an errand, made a meal, helped you with your child, help you bring your child into being, even if they were a sperm donor. Sorry, you guys. Anyway, so just go to the magic of it. Dig deep. If you're angry, you may have to dig deep, but there's one thing I'm sure of. When you're in the practice of raising your vibration with gratitude, it's impossible to be negative, and it's impossible to keep hating that person or feeling negative about that person, right? So it's going to raise your vibration and it's going to make your relationship so much better. And I'm just going to mention this person just by their first name. Denise, if you're watching. Denise and her son, I read for Denise, and she and her son had been estranged for years, and she hadn't seen her grandchild, and so there were problems. So I always implore people to bring the practice of raising your vibration, to send out what you're grateful for that person. It will reach their heart in this miraculous way that you can't explain it. You can't put something that is miraculous into rational thought. It just won't work. So we have to go beyond that. So she did a gratitude list for her son and all the times that he made her laugh, things that they did together, the moment he came into her life, those kind of things. So, and then she did it, and she just emailed me, I don't know, probably about 6-7 days ago, that they had their reunion, and that her new daughter-in-law had reached out that she's going to have a child. So it really does work miracles. In the classes that we had at The Way of Positive Change with this book, there were people who had never heard their mother say, I love you before. That happened with my friend Debbie. And And there was one guy in the group that hadn't talked to his mom in probably about 15 years, and he got an email from his mom. Again, it's miraculous. So if you want to raise your income, if you want a new love, if you want a new home, or you want a better relationship, it's time to dig deep, raise your vibration, take the time to write it down, make a list of 20 things for 2020, for a better 2020, about what you've already had, for the cars that you've had, for the checks that you got. And, be grateful for your bills. When you get your electric bill, don't sigh. Write right on it. I'm so very grateful for my electric bill, because without it, I wouldn't have electricity, right? Or water, right? Change your thinking. And just remember, the more things that you're grateful for, the more goodies you're going to get. So I just wanted to do that rather than a reading, because this is really the way to change your life. I'm so grateful for all the wonderful people that God has brought into my life, and I'm looking forward to making and meeting new friends and relationships, and meeting you. I'm so grateful for you too, because I've been able to meet you and read for you, and have great contact with you and meeting new friends. So I just wanted to do that and explain to you how it works, because a lot of you have asked me, and through the personal readings that we do, and if you want a reading with me, you can email me at thewayofpositivechange@gmail.com. I'm doing $25 readings for half an hour, and that's a really great price, because I normally charge $50. So we had talked about it so many times, and in the readings, I can only explain so much. So I hope this video was very helpful. Please leave your comments below. If there's anything you want me to read upon, just let me know. And I'm wishing you all a very happy new year. I can't get my cursor down there. Okay. All right, you guys. All right, many blessings to you. And I hope to see you and talk to you soon. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.